Hello, welcome to the MW podcast with me, Matthew Littler.
And me, William Stephen.
See, wasn't that better, Will?
It was a little bit better. Now, we've been practicing that. I hope you feel privileged.
Yeah. Took us 2 whole attempts.
Yeah.
So, Will, what are the
There's
big...
lots of times.
I'm going to quickly jump this off because it's early in the morning and I'm still tired. What has been the main reads for you over the last month since we've actually done anything? Well, main reads, because you can't remember anything because you
Don't write lists.
don't write lists.
Red Lanterns Volume 1 from the New 52.
Aye.
Justice League Volume 1 from the New 52. Those are the things that stuck out.
They're the ones that
There's
stuck out.
so much that it's like I'll probably go along and probably be like, oh, I read that too. I read that. But I'm gonna pick those as
Your picks of the week. The picks of the
the
month.
picks. Also, I've read a few backstories and whatnot in terms of Batman, but of the new stuff.
Yeah, the new stuff, that's your picks for the thing. Alright, I'll do the same then, just for the whole fact. Talons 1 through 6.
Yes, that's also. I'll add that to good. That's
Yeah, they were
I recommended
excellent.
that on Twitter.
So, God, Will, you're already... What's the point in even doing a podcast if you're just going to recommend things here and willy-nilly?
And I also recommended Demon Knights 1 through 7.
Also, it's picking us up now, it's quite good.
Demon Knights. I'll quick chat. If you like Game of Thrones type shit,
I did not like Game of Thrones.
read Demon Knights. See, neither did I, but I loved the Demon Knights
Demon
comics.
Knights. What are you up to? Number 7?
Number 7. Cost me like £4 off the internet.
What are we up to
7.
now, though? It's like 16?
It's like 18.
18 now. Oh, God.
But apparently,
It's a lot of catching
apparently
up.
it's gone downhill since the current team that's working on it. Well, the team that I'm reading,
Yeah.
have gone off it.
Fair enough.
But also, I can't just say that as definite because I've not read it. So
Fair enough.
anyway, back to
Obviously, there's the Batman's. What we got? Death. I've read 7 through 18, but Death of the Family was the thing.
yeah. So have I. There we go.
So we've got Death of the
Yeah,
Family.
another
as well.
thing I recommend.
The only issue with that is the sheer volume of different issues that make up this thing. I've only read Batman's. I've got Nightwing's, but I ain't read the back stuff yet, so I'm leaving them for now. When I get all the back stuff, it's really I'm just gonna have a shit ton to read because I've just got all the current stuff because it's easy to get hold of.
And I've also added a few. I've got a few of the Batmans. I've got all the Batgirl, Death of the Family stuff come in, which I know it's Batgirl, but still, it adds to the story. And I've got the prelude, the prologue Catwoman one, which is I think it's issue 13 of Catwoman.
Issue 13.
I do have the first 2 volumes of Catwoman to read, so it's not like I'm just kind of gonna jump in on that one.
And I'm quite behind on this, but one I do recommend, Walking Dead Volume 1. Was not a fan of the TV show originally. Read the comic because it was cheap. Thoroughly enjoyed it.
And
there's all sorts on here, but they were the picks, pretty much. There was
couple of good series starting in terms of the new 52s. The JLA, which is on its second issue now.
Yeah, the JLA one. It's on second issue.
It's a good one.
I ain't read number 2 yet. It's going
to be interesting how they interlock that with the normal Justice League, because Justice League of America was created to be a safeguard in case Justice League went awry.
Yeah, that's the thing into it. Normal Justice League, it's got such big powers in it. It's the Justice League of Americas.
So funny, those comics.
As I say, I've only read the first one, and
the first volume they're just ripping it into each other.
Oh, you're on about the Justice League?
Yeah, the
one.
Justice League. They're just ripping into each other. Anyway, back to JLA. I thought it's very good, and the 2 of the characters which a lot of people don't know, Vibe and Catania, they're doing their own run of comics, and I've got the 2 Vibes because Jeff Johns has picked it up to write, and if Jeff Johns writes it,
Will bum it.
Tends to be good, except for Batman. I won't read anything he writes for Batman because
it was awful. One thing he might have done other.
That was awful.
But most of the Earth ones seem to be pretty terrible anyway.
Yeah, I read the volume 1 of the Superman.
Yeah, I don't think it was a him. I think that was. It just seems to be all of the
cold shiver.
Volume 1s.
No, what else to say?
Other than that, I've got
a list.
Yeah, I always have a list. I've got the Before Watchmen, Silk Spectre, and the Comedian ones. Good reads. I've got some of the back issues, but I need to get number 3 in each of them to.
I'm looking forward to July is when the trade packs come out.
Oh, is that when they're coming out?
So you get the Comedian and the Rorschachs together.
Bollocks!
Night Owl and Manhattan's together, something like that. Doctor Manhattan's. Then you get Silk Spectre and the Minutemen together.
See, I might
Ozymandias and the Crimson Corsair. Crimson Corsair was like the end story in each one, so you're going to get that in its entirety.
Oh, that piratey thing.
That piratey thing.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what that has to do with the Watchmen.
See, that's really annoying because I have comedians. I've got 4 comedians while not having any of Rorschach's, which I wasn't a massive fan anyway when I read them. Silk Spectre, I've got the collection of them, but I don't have Dr. Manhattan. Did you say Dr. Manhattan's?
Dr. Manhattan, yeah.
Yeah. Night Owl I haven't got anyway, so... Because you've got that. And the Minutemen one I've already got, so...
The Night Owl one's pretty good.
Yeah, it was just because I've just never got round to it. I've read it, so it was one of them things where I don't really need to pick it up yet.
No, wait until it's cheap.
Or really expensive.
So, is there anything else on there?
I read Detective Comics 1 through 6.
We disagreed. I said it was good, but it should have really been 8 issues rather than 6. It seemed a bit rushed. And you said it's nice.
It was alright. I enjoyed it, you know. It's funny to watch the Penguin as a main character again. Cause you don't... I know you get it every so often, but he seems to be a side joke.
He's of the villains, though. He's not really one you would put in your top list or anything. I wouldn't anyway.
I don't know. Danny DeVito in the.
I thought we were. It's a good portrayal, and it's not too bad. But
it's because he's a short, fat guy.
There's just so many better villains in the Batman in the Batman.
Mythos. Mythos is the word you're looking for. Yes.
Mythos, whatever. But is so yeah.
Yeah, obviously there are better villains out there. It's just Other than that, I think I've read more, but I read the Deadpool Corpse. I thought I put that on here. The prelude to Deadpool Corpse, where he's collecting all the different versions of himself, because that's the only way you can do it to help save the multiverses. It was entertaining.
The whole multiverse thing.
I don't know. Yeah, I know, but when you've just got one central character, it helps. When it's just Deadpool and then he just goes around just pissing about, it's more helpful than having all the X-Men going here and all the things there. So I thought it was a bit better. I could keep up with it a bit more, but see if I can be bothered to get any more of it.
Fair enough.
That's pretty much the issue with that one. What's your plans for the next week, Will? Have you got any ones you're buying? Or?
I've got loads which I've bought. I've got Wonder Woman Volume 1, which Catwoman Volume 1 and 2. I've got to give it out to the sisters.
They're doing it for themselves, well, clearly.
I've got Red Lanterns Volume 2, which I'm looking forward to because Volume 1 was just so good.
It's just... See, I watched the Green Lantern animated series, which starts off with don't watch the animated series, it's pretty shit.
Yeah, because they were told they weren't allowed to do any of the storyline like the Sinestro Wars or the Blackest Night.
Oh, it's not that. It just looks in act shit. It's
no,
just
I'm saying
not well done.
The reason why I'm not particularly watching it, it was meant just to try and show different battles between the different Lantern groups and such, and really exploring the different Lantern groups is something that's only really come around in the last couple of years. So it's pretty... There's not much to go at.
Fair enough.
No, but Red Lanterns is awesome.
Yeah.
It's adds a bit more of understanding to Atrocitus, which I think in the the prelude that it was in, what was the prelude to the Blackest Night called? Is it Rage of Red Lanterns or something like that?
There was the Rage of the Red Lanterns one.
Yeah, anything like that. It just you saw him as this uncontrollable monster as such. This kind of, I don't want to say humanises him, but he's still a bit ruthless. But no, add a bit more to the character building.
Ah, fair enough. How excited are you for the new Iron Man, which comes out Wednesday? Wednesday.
It'll look the trailer does look awesome, but at the same hand, I'm more excited, even though I don't know why. I'm more excited about the Superman movie.
It looks epic, and hopefully it'll be better than.
I'm not a big fan of Superman. I've talked about it before. I'm not a big fan, but there's something about that trailer, and Zack Snyder seems to have this way when it comes to doing comic graphic novel like movies. He just seems to have this down to a fine art. And there's a few directors like that. Matthew Vaughn's he's just pretty much doing his movie career the same, but I think Zack Snyder does it better, personally.
Joss Whedon.
You see, he did films and then he made them into comic books, and then he wrote, and then he's written some X-Men stuff, but...
Yeah, and then he did Avengers.
And he did Avengers, yeah, he did the Avengers.
Everyone loves the Avengers. Oh, I've got a thing here. Where the hell is it? I'm looking for the poster. I'll find it soon. They have released the Dark World poster.
Oh, for Thor.
For Thor.
Yeah, it's just
how
with the hammer.
Epic does that look?
It looks awesome.
Showing to the missus while she sits there quietly in the corner. Yeah, it's just him with Thor, lightning going straight through it, blizzard, Thor, pretty much.
Thor in its hat.
Yeah, it's got Natalie Portman in again, obviously. Chris Hemsworth. The usuals.
It's got Kat Dennings from Two Broke Girls.
Is she still in it?
Yeah.
It's got Anthony Hopkins in it.
Yeah, he played Odin.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. Maybe I want him again.
It was always going to be in it. Odin's always in it.
Yes, but never mind. I'll explain what my point is about this after.
So it's like you're surprised. Oh, he's still alive. He's doing it.
He's got his power up.
Oh, he came back at the end, didn't he?
Did he? In the Avengers, he was on about.
He didn't really see.
But he said he used all his power to get Thor to Earth, didn't he?
But he'll recharge.
Fine.
You don't just buy power at your local store.
You can do.
What?
Bit of toxic waste.
Deity, the deity store.
Batman did it.
I have £12 of godliness, please.
Batman did it. He had a lot of money. He bought all the materials. He became a superhero.
But he didn't buy godliness type power, did he? Deity powers.
No, fair enough. But you know what I mean. You can buy awesomeness.
You can buy awesomeness, but you can't buy deity status.
Fair enough.
Don't mutter.
Sorry, I'm just looking at different news at the moment. Tom Hiddleston, Loki.
Huddleston, yeah.
Yeah.
Doing the Crow.
Fine, whatever.
Booyah! Beat you to it.
Just seeing what there is. Oh, look, M. Night Shyamalan's doing a new film.
Oh,
Neil before Zod. After Earth's one more week away from... it's from before the Man of Steel comes out, apparently. I'm not going to read it because I really do not like M. Night Shyamalan's films.
He seems to do the same film over and over and over again.
There was one good one, the first one, but
it's the same. It's the same with Roland Emmerich. He does the end of the world disaster movies, and it's just like, do something different.
Yeah, it's a bit of an issue at times, isn't it?
Don't be wrong. Sometimes people doing the same thing over and over again is good, but you have to get it right the first time.
Yeah. It's like
AC/DC. Do the same album again and again and again. But if that album's like the best rock album ever, you don't care.
Yeah, it's true. But then, if you say Scary Movie, you keep doing the same thing over and over, and it's shit. Why are they not stopping this?
I think because it's basically each one of them is a spoof of the like horror films.
They don't have to pay likeness, so it's helpful.
If the horror films of the time they're spoofing are shit, then the Scary Movie films are going to be shit.
Yeah, but there was only one good Scary Movie film.
This isn't about comics.
And we can go on a segue, Mrs.
She will be being brought back in. He's like with the whip. No, anyway, yes, back. Quick shout out to my new comic book shop. I'm not going to order my new issues as such off the internet. I'm going to go to Sheffield Space Centre, which is on the Wicker for people who know Sheffield. Got loads of good comics in, and the staff are really helpful. You can talk. I was in there yesterday for 2 hours. An hour of that was just talking to them about comics and what's new that's come out and what's good, and And because of that, I put my name down for a couple of new things starting.
Which one are they? Go
on. Judge Dredd Year One, which I picked up the first copy of. Abe Sapien, which if you follow Hellboy, is kind of like the fish creature sidekick of his. He's got his own comics, and something which is new, which don't actually come out until next week, is Mark Millar's Jupiter's Legacy, which is a short 10-issue run, and it's got all the forums chatting over it. But it's a good store.
Fair enough.
Loads of back issues as well.
Have you seen the screenshots yet, Will, for Guardians of the Galaxy?
No.
How epic does that actually look? For everyone who can't see, it's big screenshots of like.
It looks awesome, but it's like, does that mean everything's going to be CGI'd?
Yeah, I think it's a completely CGI'd thing, but they've not gone for like cartoony CGI. They've gone for realism, kind of the Avatar-y kind of CGI, which we don't like the film. We won't mention the film.
You did.
You know what I mean? We won't mention synopsis of anything or our opinions because it's not good.
Number 2 of that thing that shall not be named being done, and
what, they're doing a second one?
Doing a second.
Oh, why?
Makes me want to cry.
Right, we started playing Injustice last night, Will.
We did.
Injustice Gods Among Us. He does suck quite badly. But no, it's good. 24 playable characters, every split straight down the middle, 12 heroes, 12 villains.
And the villains are better.
The villains, yeah, but villains are always better.
Not necessarily.
Name one thing that's not better than the good counterpart.
I'd still say Batman's better than the Joker.
No, Joker's better than Batman.
Okay.
Joker's so much better than Batman.
Green Lantern... No, he's Sinestro pretty much wipes the floor with him. Okay.
Maybe Lex Luthor, but you've got other things.
Superman's gay, no one cares about Superman. No, they do.
Clearly a lot of people care about Superman.
It's just...
it wouldn't be one of DC's, like...
I like the odd bits of it, I can't get into it, but no. Aquaman... His villain doesn't really seem that impressive.
In the New 52, it was just a load of fish. Fish hated him.
Like piranha type fish.
Yeah, they were good.
So yeah, Aquaman, there you go.
Fair enough. Aquaman is better than his villains. Okay. Oh shit. Which is never a good thing. But on that game, if anyone has got it or hasn't got it, who cares? They've actually showed the trailer for the Superman animated film, which is like what they did with the Batman.
Superman Unbound, I think.
Yes,
based on a graphic novel written by Jeff Johns and a few others.
It looks good. It's like a good.
For Superman.
It looks good for the whole reason of the Superman films have been pretty terrible.
Actually, I disagree about that. The first 2 were passable. They were watchable.
Passable, precisely.
They were watchable.
Your review of this is, well, then first 2 were, I could sit through them.
They were watchable. Well, compared to the 3rd and the 4th.
Oh yeah, the 4th one.
That's kind of a compliment.
Was 4th one Returns?
Yeah, that was kind of a compliment. Saying that.
Yeah, okay. The 3rd and the 4th one was, right, I'll leave this playing and hope my TV doesn't blow up while I'm out of the room because they were terrible. But yeah, no, the animated ones, as I say, it was the same thing when I'm going off the thing because we don't like Ryan Reynolds in this podcast at all. When he was in The Croods, when I've watched that recently, they've eliminated him having to act. He was just having to do a voice, so it's alright.
I don't entirely blame him for the Green Lantern movie being bad. Because I think the way it was written, it's like... Again, now that's one thing, although I prefer DC, one thing I give prop to with Marvel with the films is they spend one film giving you a kind of like... Backstory and how he became the hero that we all know. And I think that kind of needs to be done with the Green Lantern, about his dad, and then he going away doing training. Because if you follow the comics and even if you watch the animated series, even the training for Green Lanterns is quite hellish.
Yeah, I just think now the problem with that is that the movie was that bad. They're not going to do another one for a long time.
They're in talks too, aren't they?
Are they?
Ryan Reynolds has signed on for it.
Ryan Reynolds seems to be signing on for everything recently.
He's going to ruin Deadpool.
Yeah, maybe.
Anyway, why do we give him time? Why do we give him our valuable oxygen? We need to move on.
Because we can bitch about him at the same time. It's just like, we can have an opinion about any person. We could literally go through the entire movies that are coming out in the next 3 years and just be like, well, I really don't think Chris Evans is great when he plays Captain America anyway.
And Captain America's, again, like Superman. Yuck.
The thing with Captain America is he's not particularly a superhero. Yeah, he's got the super soldier serum and he's just he's a great human. He's not like he can fly, he's got no thing. He's just an extremely fit, powerful human. But he never seems to get shot.
That's what I was talking about. I was talking in the comic book shop yesterday. I was talking, and I made a comparison.
Were you talking well?
A comparison between Captain America and Superman. I think with both DC and Marvel, what they wanted to do was to create a character which embodied an American symbol and the American ideals. And for that, they can't appear to be weak. And for most people, well, like for me, example, the reason why so many people love Batman is because...
I thought you were about to say why people love you. I'm just like, well, that's a lie.
Okay, I know, but don't make me cry. Anyway, so yeah, the reason why people love Batman is because as well as him going away and kicking ass, you've got all this kind of... He's a flawed character, all this emotional weakness and all this other shit that creates such a great character. And I think with Superman and Captain America, they kind of flushed that opportunity down the toilet.
Yeah, see, with Captain America, fair enough, I understand you might not be able to. He was a weakling that went big, blah, blah, blah. Superman, you never really see the emotion. His whole planet was destroyed. His parents were dead. It's like he's got the same thing as, like, Batman in the way of he should have this emotional angst, but he never does. He's just like, yeah, I'll get on with things. But then he'll be a bitch about Lois Lane. So
sleeping with their new co-anchor.
Yeah.
Ooh, spoilers.
Spoilers from number 1.
Yes, that's all we've read.
Spoilers from the first issue, 18 issues ago.
Okay, so just
yeah, no, it's like that. I'm not particularly fussed about, as I say, when it comes out, the Winter Soldier.
No, kind of skip over Captain America.
The film was alright, is a proper one. He didn't really do anything in the Avengers for me.
Moan.
He just moaned a lot and was just like, well, you should be doing this. It's like, yeah, but if we did this, we'd all be dead now. And he just didn't seem to do anything. Thor, I'm excited about. As we say, it's cheesy but fun to watch. What the last one was anyway. It was a bit over the top.
They started a new line of comics with him, haven't they? I think they're on kind of like number 8 now.
I don't know. I've not. I think I've seen
5,
it.
Was it 5 or 8? But I think the issue they got at the moment is like the first one of that particular storyline, Good God Bomb.
So it could be a 1 if anyone wants to jump in on that, because we have had a total of 8 views over 5 podcasts.
Well, like I say, speaking to the shop yesterday, we like them on Facebook. They'll like us, and then all their Facebook followers will steal us and whatnot.
Oh, okay. Well, I say
I've been networking, bitch.
I've been at work, bitch.
This was on a Saturday.
I've been visiting friends I've not seen in a year, bitch. Is that better? You
can't just say, well, yeah, for our music podcast, I'm interviewing someone. But no, you didn't think, did you? You could have trumped me then. You could have gone, I'll give you your networking for an interview.
Yeah, I'll raise you an interview with a. But you've just shot yourself in the foot. You're like Goldthorpe with an effigy of Margaret Thatcher. That was a stupid town. Yeah, I have to insult at least one person per podcast, and today it's Goldthorpe. You stupid retards.
And for me, as always, Michael Bendis. Please start writing comic books.
Getting a bit close. Have we seen the spiking here?
I'm just making sure
that Michael Bendis can hear you.
He gets through the airwaves and he stops writing.
Oh.
Because he's ruining Marvel.
He's not ruining Marvel. You've read like 2 things with him.
I've read quite a couple of things.
Quite a couple of things.
I've read quite a few things. That's what I meant to say.
Yeah, fair enough then. Whatever. Quite a couple of things, you.
These Avengers is awful.
I haven't read it. I just literally... I'm trying to get through a few different runs at the moment and just get them as they come out. Because, as I say, New Comic Book Day is easy to do because I just literally have one person I buy everything from and it all comes to me, to my house, back to board.
Yeah, but no, see, that's the thing. I can kind of understand that because it's easy. But
I would do it for new issues. If I'm just getting ones that I've already got, like I'm running through and when I get my Swamp Things, I'm going to get them anyway. So
for me, there's something just good about going into a comic book shop.
Oh yeah,
picking it up, and just
hunting through
the boxes.
I say when I get back, because I'm away next week, I'll come to it like the week and after.
And you'll be alright because you'll be paid by then.
I will have. I've got to put a lot of money away for my car though, so, and I've got to pay my granddad for my first train fare. You know, because I'm starting the new job. So, you know.
Anyway, back to the realm of comic books. We talked about films. We need to back to the books.
The backs to the books.
Yes.
Yeah, I think, as I say, the as I've already asked you thing, I think the next reads I'm going to go with, I'm going to continue with Walking Dead whenever I get them, as well as, you know, stuff that's coming out. I want to get the Aquaman collection, but I don't want to get... I'll get the first volume, but I can pick up things from like 8 onwards fairly cheap at like £2. So I'll pick up like stuff like that. Swamp Thing, I've started actually reading that book 1. It's good. It's nice, it's thing. But there is a cover in it, which I was quite funny because they've actually copied the cover in the New 52.
Paid homage.
Paid homage, yeah, that would be the thing.
See, don't diss the Snyder.
It's
because I'll bitch slap you.
Artwork he doesn't do.
Yeah, but it's his projects. He's kind of anything he's connected with. If you complain about, I'll bitch slap you.
No, it's not. It's the one where Arcane's pretty much on top of Swamp Thing and he's down and he's just come out of thing and he's like holding him down by his neck. Same cover, but they've like revamped it, made it look a lot better. You know, but the thing is, at the end of the day, these fights have been going on years, so you're gonna eventually get some crossover of like same issue, like looks of comics. Because why would you just wouldn't have if they're both fighting? You wouldn't just have both of them stood up, just going, "We're fighting." Obviously, one has to be on top of the other, maybe ready to throw a punch. So, you know, you expect eventually some sort of crossover like that. So.
Yeah. I love the humour in Justice League.
Which one?
Volume 1.
You're on about Justice League.
Justice League Origins is the Volume 1. It's so funny. Like when Flash is running around Superman going, "Oh, you'll never catch me," and then Superman just goes, "Poof."
Yeah. And it's that thing. Flash is just annoying.
Or they're all stood around in a group, and Flash goes, "I'll take it to the crime lab and get it all checked out." And Superman, or what kind of which particular character is now, goes, "Are you a detective? Are you a cop then?" And I think Green Lantern goes, "Barry, good well to tell me your true identity." You've just called me Barry, dumbass. And it's that type of just like tongue in cheek kind of stuff, and it's good.
Fair enough. You read Wolverine today, number 2.
Number 2.
Because I bought that not long back, and I've only just read it myself last night. What do you think? Number 2. Number 1 was good. They're very quick though. They're very short.
Yeah, they have. I don't know. It seems I don't know.
That's the thing. There's not a lot of dialogue, a lot of
but
action.
It's good.
Happening.
The artwork to it's nice.
True. Yeah.
Alan Davis, not the QI Alan Davis.
Not the QI Alan Davis.
Well,
damn! I thought obviously it was only him.
Yeah. You got told.
Yes, clearly.
It's good artwork, but I don't know. I think the Savage Wolverine kind of takes it into a good Wolverine into a new place because Wolverine in regular reality is being done as such.
Oh yeah, it's
dumping him on an island where there's dinosaurs and this mystical tribe type thing. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And the artwork's I think it's Frank Cho. Was it the Keith? No, it's Frank Cho, the artist.
Cho's doing it.
Yeah, which is good.
It's fair enough.
I finally found out, and this is probably people going to go screaming about this. Is I've been reading it for Geek Arts for 4 months. How do you not know who the villain at the end of Avengers is called?
Yeah,
And I've got his first comic. Well, first comic of his backup pre-story.
I still
Thanos.
I still want to watch the film, even though it's been voted one of the worst films of all time. Still kind of just want to watch it.
I didn't realise there was a film.
It's called Thanos: Hands of Fate.
Are you sure it's based on the Marvel character?
Well, yes, because the guy's he's got the glove, the Hand of Fate.
Well, that's the Infinity Gauntlet thing.
Yeah.
See, geeking it out there, see?
I
use Wiki Bitch.
It's this thing, but it's referencing so many things as people just going, and it's like, it was in How I Met Your Mother. He just went, do you know what worst film ever? Thanos: Hands of Fate. And I've heard it about 4 or 5 different times where people are just referencing, just going, do you know what worst film is? Oh, this. He's like, no. Thanos: Hands of Fate. I'm just like, is it really this bad?
See, it has to go a long way to beat some of the things that I think are the worst films.
I don't know. They said there was that many loose ends at the end as well. It was ridiculous.
I was hoping, obviously, it would take off and it would be a...
No, like
project.
Loose ends. Not like you could have a sequel, apparently. There's just a lot of like stuff from the beginning that's just not ever explained and stuff like that. So they were saying about doing a comic, but it won't ever happen. It was that poorly received.
Well, they're bringing him back for the Avengers.
Yeah.
And obviously the Guardians of the Galaxy is going to tie in with Thanos.
Yeah. It's going to be...
Who's a Titan. If that means anything. Well, I know what it means, but if anyone... There you go.
If the Guardians of the Galaxy one looks as good as the screenshots made out to be, them 4 screenshots.
It's just so off-putting. Names of the people, isn't it? It's like Rocky the Raccoon. It doesn't sound...
Rocky the Raccoon. Rocket Raccoon.
Rocket Raccoon.
He has big shitting guns and everything.
I know, it just doesn't sound menacing enough.
No, he's like a comedy character.
And there's Drax the Destroyer. Again, sounds like a 6-year-old has named these people.
Yes, but
Adam Warlock.
But if you look at any comic book character, the names aren't menacing. Batman's not a menacing name. It's just like, look, he's a bat.
Bats, vampires. Bats mean a lot of demonic things.
So does Ozzy Osbourne, but he's a blubbering idiot.
No, he does...
Great music.
He does demonic things.
He's also on drugs again.
He's been sober for 44 days, apparently.
44 days. He's still on crack. Year and a half of taking them after a thing. It's a shame. Anyway. Yeah. I don't know. It's going back to the Big Bang Theory thing where they're on about the names. And it's just like some of the names are just hilarious to listen to. It's just like double. It's more Marvel based, but it's like the double alliteration names.
Let's give some props to some artists out there because we mainly talk about writers. I like Jim Lee's artwork in Justice League. I thought that was pretty cool. Where like the sharks jumping out of the water and all that type of shit. That looked pretty cool.
I literally don't care who writes them as long as it's good or who draws them.
No, but you got kind of like when you see something good, you got to kind of recognise it. I say the thing about the stuff.
But I never look on the front.
One that sticks out for me is Gwilym March, who did the Talon. I love that part really where I think it's in the first one where he set the bomb off and you see like the gold dripping onto that person on his knees.
Oh yeah,
that was pretty.
See, the best bit of artwork in them Talon ones for me is that first issue front cover. The one with chains, that just looks absolutely brilliant.
It's pretty awesome comics, the Talons.
Yeah, I can't wait for the 6th one to come out.
Seventh. I wonder though, is it going to be like a proper continuing one, or is it like just going to be a certain amount of issues?
I think it's probably going to be an 8-9 issue by the looks of things. Once he's taken his revenge, what else has he got to do?
Sebastian Shaw.
Yeah, what else has he got to do? That's the whole point of the character at the end of the day.
He's still got to bring down the court and then take out Sebastian Shaw. He's got to do those two things.
Let's give it 10 issues then.
It would be a shame to take down the court because it would be nice to see them as like, not say all the time, but a recurring theme within the new Batman mythos.
They can do that. At the end of the day, he could take it down, think that he's taking it down, and then it just like a small section still left, and then it can grow. You could just say that over and over and over again. You know what I mean? He can take it out, but at the end of the day, they can still be around. Or someone could find it and go, oh, wow, let's try this. And let's be tits.
So how much of Grant Morrison's Batman stuff have you read?
Very little. I don't know.
So
I don't know what.
That means a no. You've not read much, but you read Scott Snyder. Okay, I'm going to give a quick comparison because I've read both, and I said I was going to do it
about a
month ago, and then whatever happened. If everyone praises Grant Morrison, and don't get me wrong, he's done some like Series House on Series Earth, which was a one-shot graphic novel, was fantastic, and there's a little bit of like little twinkles in each comic that kind of shine out. But really, I think he's overrated as a Batman writer.
Oh, fair enough.
I
thought you were just going to literally bum the hell out of him for a second.
No, I think he takes it. How can I describe it?
He takes it to a completely
wrong direction.
No, I was going to say psychedelic view due to all the crack.
I like the introduction of Talia and Damian, and I've heard good things about Batman and Godfrey, but he's tried to make Batman into more of a global character rather than just what he is. He's just the protector of Gotham as such. And then
it seems to me, and I just think Batman seems to go on holiday a lot. He's always on holiday.
He's got Batman Cup. He's got like a Batwing in Africa.
Yeah, no, but he's always on holiday.
Argentina.
Every time I've read something, it's just like
Bruce Wayne is on holiday.
Yeah, he's like, oh, how was your holiday, Bruce? It's just like
he's got to take some rest in.
No, yeah, Prime doesn't rest.
No, and I just don't like the way he portrays Batman as. I think he tries to make him come out to being weak, and I don't know. I just didn't.
Batman is weak.
He is weak, and there's writers that can do it fantastically well. But I just didn't like. There's something about Grant Morrison's which I didn't the way trying to go about portraying Batman. I didn't like it. Whereas Scott Snyder, on the other hand, I think he does it well. He shows his weak with Death of the Family, shows its weakness, brings that all up again, and how he's yearning for this kind of sense that it belongs to a family, and Joker recognises this and wants to destroy it.
Yeah.
So you can't do it like that. And then Scott's like challenging like certain nuance, like certain pre-assumptions Bruce Wayne has as a character. The fact he knows Gotham better, he thinks he knows Gotham better than anyone, and obviously with this court of owls existing, obviously he doesn't.
Yeah.
So, and the writing is just so good. The dialogue is fantastic, and I love the joke. I love the Death of the Family thing where he's like Joker's talking. I think it was just so gripping.
So you listened to the it was the podcast, the Fat Man and Batman with Scott, hadn't you?
Yeah.
See, that was really good because the one thing that really again stuck out for me, because it was a long talk anyway, because everything like that is really long. But the one thing that he said is that he was a massive fan of Batman from a young age, and people have complained about his writing, not because it wasn't bad, but some of the stuff he's done, they just said it's like story after story after story, 3 big stories. And then he's just turned around and gone, yeah, but if you were doing Batman, wouldn't you?
You've like, got to, really.
Yeah, you wouldn't just have like, well, Batman sat there, and Batman checked the computer, and then Batman found there was a crime happening, and he punched someone.
The end.
There.
No, I
think you'd complain that there's nothing happening. You can't seem to please everyone.
I just think he's a great look, and I've read the Swamp Thing stuff he's done.
Yeah,
which is good.
He has finished that now, which is a shame. But issue 19 was good.
He's doing a new Superman series called Unchained, which I don't know whether just to give a go because it's Scott Snyder. He's done American Vampire stuff, which I've seen bits and which I've read one or two issues in passing, which is brilliant.
No, he is a really good writer, and he does not sound anything like he looks.
People are probably sick of us talking about him, but
I don't think he is, Will, because I don't think he
not
really
him
cares.
particularly, but our 8 listeners might think.
No, not 8. That was like 3 on this one. Then we've got 4 others where people have only really listened.
Anyway, so yeah, exactly. So those few are probably sick of us always talking about him, but no,
he is a good one. And obviously, you've got writers throughout time that have always been, they've been heads of everything. You've got obviously Alan Moore. Which obviously, if you go on Batman, did Killing Joke. If you go other things, you got Miller.
Chuck Dixon.
I don't even know that name. You're going. I'm not that.
Jim Starlin.
Yeah, I know that one.
Chuck Dixon. Wait 1 second. I don't know if it's Chuck Dixon or his friend that he does it with, who's the writer. Just 1 second, I'm going to check.
He's going to get the compendium thing that he's got for Batman Nightfall, which is how many pages? Well,
600 and something.
600 and something pages.
Yeah. Chuck. I'm not why I'm talking. You can't hear me over there. Yeah, it's Chuck Dixon.
It might pick you up slightly.
And he's read all. Well, I've read the Batman vs Bane, which tells you Bane's backstory, and then I've got Nightfall, which is obviously the big thing. But I've read quite that and a few of the things that he's done around that and stuff. So I think he's pretty much, with the animated series being our kind of like childhood as such.
Yeah, for a lot of people who started with Batman, it was the Adam West, but obviously us being 90s children, we had the Batman animated series, which for me is still hasn't been beaten in TV or film. Not really.
No. Anyway, so Chuck Dixon, he's another good Batman writer. I just didn't like particularly Grant Morrison's take on Batman. And it's not to say Grant Morrison's a bad writer. He has written some good stuff out there, but it's just I didn't like his.
You didn't like the one with the weird ass artwork, or
which weird ass artwork?
I don't know.
He's written
the one where it's not like panelled. It's just like.
Oh yeah, see, I like Serious House and a Serious. I really, really like that. So I'm not saying he's a bad writer. And I don't particularly like him. It's just out of the others that I've read, he's not amongst my favourite.
No, that's fair enough. It's as I say, there's certain writers out there, as I say, that think it's the same with artists, and sometimes the artists become good writers as well. Perez, for one.
Perez, well, Jim Starlin's a writer-artist.
Yeah, there's plenty out there, and it depends. I think you don't have to be the best writer. I think you've got to enjoy what you're writing about as well. You've got to be able to write, and you've got to be able to know. But there is no point in. I don't think there's any point in writing these stories if you're like, well, I don't really like the character because it's gonna come across. You've got to be a fan. That's my thing on the Star Wars thing. As I've had this argument with people, I think Disney can do well as long as they get a decent script and a director that actually loves Star Wars.
My only gripe about the film is because the characters people they've confirmed so far is Harrison Ford, Carrie Fisher. What was the mumbling after?
He just mumbles everything.
Anyway, I'm not sure if Mark Hamill's been confirmed yet or not.
I love Mark Hamill,
but I want them to be confirmed for cameos.
You don't want them as a main. For
me, what they would need to do for the storyline as such, which I said, I probably said in previous podcasts, but they need to. For me, if it's going to be like a sequel, episode 7 as such, it should be them chasing down the last remnants of the old Empire.
Yeah.
So, like, a Sith general in some portion of the galaxy still doing terrible things, he's gone down and taken down. That type of thing.
Yeah, you'd have something like Mark Hamill, you'd have Jedis and that going after him, but they'd report in and that would be Mark Hamill. They'd report to him or something, and that would be his part in it.
I suppose, you gotta really have. I wasn't thinking of having a Jedi in it, but.
No, but you know what I mean. Mark would be there at the head of.
Mark was in it. It would have to be like his Padawan learner. He would have to have a Padawan learner.
Yeah, and that's what I mean.
And the Padawan learner be doing the majority of the fighting.
That's what I mean. It wouldn't be him as a main character. It would be someone who would he would be reported to because he's now.
Yeah, Princess Leia's become royal, like the queen now as such, and Harrison Ford's become like the head of like Fighter Squad or something like that.
Yeah,
so he's kind of like got like the Nick Fury type job of sending people out to do his dirty work.
Yeah, it would be something
that's the
like
way.
that.
That's the way I would do it.
It would work like that, and I agree. I don't want them as main people. They had their day, and Harrison Ford, and they've all had their day back in the past. But as I say, I don't care who's in it as long as it's not Bieber.
It wouldn't ruin his career though.
Yeah, everyone who's in Star Wars. Excuse me, Carrie Fisher? She was in Jane Silent Bob Strike Back. Clearly the biggest role.
Oh my.
I think, as I say, as long as the script's good and they get someone who directs it, who loved Star Wars when they were a kid, or, who's a good director, they have to be a good director anyway, but who actually loves the films, because, again, someone who's just like, well, it's Star Wars, you'll see it just come across, I think, especially in such a... Also, I hope everything's not CGI'd.
It'd have to be some space. You can't really...
The first one wasn't. The first lot weren't. They were models.
Yeah, they were models.
And they looked awesome.
Yeah, but nowadays they won't be spend so much time doing it because...
You can do good CGI
Disney
as well.
said from 2000... The first one's going to come out in 2015.
And then there's going to be one every year. And there's going to be spin-offs of certain characters. See, this is the thing with spin-offs. I understand that they might do a Han Solo spin-off. And they might do the ones I'd really want. I'd want the Ewoks.
I know, apparently the comic, they've done a lot of different comic books. And apparently the comic books are quite good.
I have heard the comics are quite good.
But I'm not going to jump into it because for me, it was a thing. It was created in film. And that's where it'll stay for me.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. There's that much. He's created that much backstory. I think a mixture for A, to concrete things, and B, to make a shit ton more money.
I think it's always got to be comic book to film rather than film to comic book.
Yeah, that does. Yeah, fair enough. It doesn't work a lot of the time if you're not Thanos.
Well, he's working in the Avengers, isn't he? So we'll see how it goes.
That's gone film to comic book. See, he originally was a film. He was never a comic book to begin with.
It was back in the 1960s.
Yeah, the film's older. It's a really old film. No, it was originally You
sure it's the Thanos the Titan film?
I'm sure. I'm pretty sure.
Because Thanos was created by Jack Kirby or Jim Starlin.
I'm not sure. Keep talking and I will check this up.
I think you're getting on the wires crossed because I'm pretty sure it was either created by Jim Starlin or Jack Kirby, and it popped up in Mr. Marvel or something like that.
2 seconds, it is just loading.
Or the Death of Mr. Marvel or something like that. And then he was in the Infinity Quest, Infinity Gauntlet, and
Thanos, the Hand of Fate.
Yeah, but you're not determined whether the film came before or after.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, takes me a sec to get hold of everything on here, mainly because I've got to find it. That's Annihilation.
Oh, dear me.
Yeah, keep talking. Obviously, well, I'm looking currently up for.
All right, well, you'll look for that. I'm trying to think what else is worth talking about. Got my first independents. I've mentioned which ones they are because I've got them on pre-order, but I've got my first, well, not independents, I should say, non-Marvel.
Right,
DC.
I am wrong. I'm on about Manos, not Thanos. There we are. Manos came out originally in the early 60s, which is the one I'm on about, with a budget, which again, classed as worst film of all time. And they were looking at doing a comic for it. It was originally a thing with a budget of $19,000, which actually isn't.
Oh, you haven't got a picture, so they're going to show me a picture then.
That is the artwork for it.
See, you were trying to ruin Thanos.
I have nothing wrong with Thanos.
It looks awesome, big purple giant.
I'm just saying,
Titan of War.
It was pretty close, Thanos.
You just said it sounds Greek to me. It's all Greek to me. That's what you was doing.
It's all Greek to me. Yeah, no, it's fair enough. I will say I'm wrong on that, and let's go with Thanos. Woo! I'd not a bad word. I've never watched anything which I thought was that, and I've never read anything, so I've got not a bad word to say at the moment.
It's why I jumped in. Thanos Rising is kind of like going from when he was a kid to the evil Titan that we know now.
Yeah.
So anyone who wants to try and find a good place to start with that particular character, Thanos Rising, it's only going to be a 5-issue. It's only going to be a 5-issue run.
Oh, okay.
And I think the first one was out in April, the second one's out in May. So again, that's a good thing for people to jump on about, especially the Avengers film, so you can add a bit more knowledge to the characters that you're seeing.
Yeah.
And apparently it interconnects with Nova and Guardians of the Galaxy at some point. So.
See, I never read any of the Nova. I got it from the library, but never actually read it. I couldn't be asked in the end, mainly because I had that much to.
I've got your number one of Guardians of the Galaxy.
You've got mine?
Yeah. The comic.
Are you ready yet?
Not yet.
No.
I will do.
Fair enough. Yeah.
I've read bits of it.
I'm like, you boy.
It's written by Bendis, and I can tell. But I'm trying to go past that and look to the artwork and the overlying story. Not concentrate on the dialogue, because if I concentrate on the dialogue, I'll kill myself.
You won't kill yourself, Will, don't worry.
You do it for me.
I will happily kill you. I love you, that's why I will, so I will kill you over and over again.
What are you doing?
I'm just walking about. I can talk. Don't worry about what I'm doing. Just hang.
Oh, dear me.
Yeah.
I'm seriously going to cock punch you in a minute.
Why? What have I done?
I don't know.
What have I done, Will?
I just feel like being violent here.
You're very violent.
Anyway, so you need to give your update on something. You're not talking about it in 4 months.
And
like
4 months?
Like,
we haven't been doing this 4 months. Swamp Thing. Yeah, issue 19 came out. Obviously, first one without Scott Snyder. It was good, you know.
Who's writing it now?
Oh shit, I don't know his name. And the artwork's by a guy who's got one name. He's like Madonna. I could just find out because I know where it is in the thing.
Well, go and find it out then. Oh, do you know? Do I have to tell you to know everything?
No, it seems like a lot of effort though. Keep talking. Don't watch me. Stop watching my
I've got Secret Service. I've bought Mark Miller's Secret Service. I've got the whole 6 issues of that. That's been turned into a film by Matthew Vaughn. And I'll fill you in on that in the next few weeks. And some of these independent runs, well, not independent, again, non-Marvel, non-DC. I'm trying to diversify for my collection. Anyways, you finally got it now. So
got it. It took me 4 seconds to
tell me these names.
Yeah, Swamp Thing, number 19, as I say, the Guardians of the Green battles the Scarecrow. So.
Okay. Again.
There's also, it's a nice fun cover.
Okay, I'm going to tell these names. Charles Soule is the writer, and the artist is a guy called Cano. Kano.
But either way, I'm just saying, the artwork on the front's very nice.
So is that just that one issue story, or is it going to be like a couple issue story with the
it could be a midway point. Pretty much it's him after the big battle with the Rot.
Mm.
Obviously, at the end of... You haven't read it, so I'm not going to spoil it. I'm not going to spoil it to anyone unless you put your fingers in your ears now, or I don't care if you listen to it. And they fought the Rot, and they gave him the option whether to stay in, stay with the Green, or go back to his normal life, or become become part of the Guardians, the trees. And he sticks with Swamp Thing. As I say, it's just
because he can be closer to his love.
No, because they're not allowed to see each other again.
Oh.
Yeah, it's because she's now the avatar of. Spoilers. Now she's the avatar of the Rot. They can never spend the time together again because they can't stay in the Green, or the Green will die, or he can't go over to the Rock, or he'll lose his powers and die.
If she's now controlling the Rot, does that mean she can stop them being evil as such?
This is the thing. As you get into the later comics, probably anything round 15 onwards, they go through the explanation that the Rot isn't evil. It's the whole reason she becomes the Avatar is to stop Anton Arcane, because he's not... The Rot isn't evil, the Rot is just a way of life. The death is just a way of life. Well, something that happens. It's just the way he's controlling it is the issue. So they make her the Avatar, so he loses the powers, so they can just get rid of him. Because the Rot isn't evil. It's a good run. It's good comics. You can borrow them if you want, as I say.
I will do at some point.
I've got reading them. Everyone's reading them.
I've got so much to read at the moment. It's
but
it's
awesome. I've said a couple of times, that cover is badass.
I'm liking, like I said, I've mentioned it a couple of times. I'm really, really liking the Red Lanterns. It's giving just so many great characters. Blease, he's like a lieutenant. They've got the first human Red Lantern.
Oh, okay.
John Moore, who's from England.
So as soon as an English person starts, he's got to be evil.
Exactly, that's the American way. So it's pretty good, and they are on the second volume's changed because the new one is kind of like most of the stuff is kind of like this fresh, vibrant colours, and the old one is more like retro inking. But I prefer the way they've done Atrocitus in this like retro look because
I've never actually seen him. Because I will have a look
because
eventually.
He's in the second volume with this new artwork. His face looks more aged, so he's kind of like you can see he's very much like a worn, torn character, and he's suffered a lot. So whereas in the first one, the way they did it, it will just look like this beast of a creature. But the storyline to it is great, and it's kind of like they've given themselves a new mission. So where people are being persecuted or whatever, they will use their rage for vengeance against these people.
Yeah.
Against the injustice. They kind of like, but they don't. For them, it's black or white. There's no shade of grey. So they're kind of like. I'm not going to go to specific storylines, but it's like if he thinks you've done bad and he knows you've done bad, regardless of what your means or motives were for doing such an act, he will take vengeance on you.
Oh, fair enough.
It's that kind of character. But in that, you've got kind of like, because he's trying to bring a moral code to the Red Lanterns, you've got the old Red Lantern, Blease, who was like his lieutenant at the time, started bringing about like a revolt within the Red Lantern Corps. And then you've got his first army, because he did create these creatures as his first attempt at his corps that went horribly wrong, that are coming back from the dead and infecting the Red Lantern Corps.
Oh, okay.
Bit like with the Green Lanterns, they weren't like the Guardians' first army. The Guardians' first armies were the Manhunters.
Yeah.
Type such. Again, I don't know if I'm going too much into the Green Lantern mythos here for you, but
yeah. I have read very little.
So it's kind of like, I can see what they're doing. They're trying to build this like the Red Lanterns into kind of like a bit like the Green Lanterns into this big thing.
Yeah.
And so they're introducing all these new different facets. It's so you have a sense that you're reading something which is going to eventually turn into big.
Okay.
And I'm glad they only do it with one of the corps, like the different coloured corps. I know they've got Green Lantern Corps and Green Lantern Guardians, but because they could have done blue lanterns.
Yeah, there's a lot out there. They could have done
Indio Tribes. They could have done Pink Sapphires. But I think Red Lantern, they chose perfectly with this Red Lanterns, and because they've got such a great character in Atrocitus.
Yeah, and I think it's the opposite side, isn't it, of the green ones. It's like green's the good and thing, the red's anger, evil, all that.
It's kind of like, it's not, I want to say like on the borderline, like some characters like Deadpool, you see like they're on the borderline of being good and bad.
Yeah.
It's that Red Lanterns is kind of like on that line.
It's kind of the thing with what's his name, the Punisher. He's good because of what he's going to do, but his methods are a bit
questionable.
Yeah.
As Matt Sapsik said, he's just a plain old killer.
Who said that?
Matt Sapsik.
Oh yeah, he's a murdering scumbag, I think his words were. I like him. He's a murdering scumbag. Yeah, he's not a fan, but it's everything. If your family's been killed in front of you, you either would go the Batman route, I guess, or you would go the Frank Castle.
I wouldn't mind reading some Punisher again, but for me, it'd be collecting in the volumes now because
there's that much out there.
There's so much out there. I don't think this particular run that's just started, and I could get the Thunderbolts by then on issue 9. I wouldn't mind it, but I'll probably have to buy that in volumes as well.
Yeah, it's hard to get hold of things, like especially the really earlier ones these days.
I could probably go back and get all the back issues. It's just, for me, it's too much of that. I've tried to pick stuff that at the moment which I'm literally getting at the beginning, so I can follow it through, and everything else it's kind of like
volumes here.
Volumes there. Apart from the Batman stuff, the Death of the Family stuff, I am collecting that.
All the issues.
The issues around that. Requiem, I'll probably get them eventually, but I'll probably wait for that because I'll probably get the Death of the Family and then start collecting it monthly from that year 0.
Yeah.
And I'll probably put, like I said, in the shop, I'll probably put in the mail order not the order for that, but the list for that.
We've actually just gone over an hour.
Well, I've done it for 4 weeks. We've got a lot to talk about.
It's true. I just need to go to the cinema sometime today.
And I need to go home because my brother's here.
Hey, your brother's at home.
Unfortunately.
Oh, how is he?
I don't know.
Maybe you'll let him read some of your comics, well.
Fuck off. Alright, well, I think this is a good point to end it. We talked about it. It's good. So,
yeah. I'll have this uploaded soon, but you'll have already, if you have listened to it, you'll have only just listened to this bit at the end, so it doesn't matter. And it will be probably 2 weeks before the next one, because I'm on holiday this week.
Yeah, so we'll upload this, and we'll upload music track 2. So on 2 weeks' time, we'll record 2 podcasts at once.
Yeah.
Well, not once. We'll probably record one on the Saturday and one on Sunday morning.
Yeah. To give us a lot of effort.
To give us a break from talking so much.
Yeah. It's 2 hours of talking in a microphone. It wears you out.
We'll add it in there, and hopefully I'll have my first copy of Jupiter's Legacy, this much trumpeted comic.
I'm going to be taking some stuff on holiday, mainly because, if you are sat around a pool for the day, it's like, I just don't see the point in laying there.
No. And plus next month is my birthday, so people give me monies, and I go to my shop, and I buy comics.
Aye. Anyway, that's us. You've been listening to MW Podcast.